Afternoon, everyone. I think this is the third cave in the series. We went with the central cave. It's just below the volcano. You can see the volcano right up there. The tech cave's in the volcano, so don't mix it up with that one. If you fly to the edge, you can just you can almost see this one depending on the fog, daylight, or rain as almost a black reflective wall when you're a distance away in the air. It makes it quite easy to find. Location 41.5, 46.9. Right about here on the map. This is the central cave, as I said. The artifact of the clever, used to summon the brood mother, Lysrix. It's got a lot of different dinos in it. That's one of the challenges for sure. Some of those dinos spit acid that wrecks your armor instantly. You've got your Arenio, which is that spider that gives you the web, dung beetle, Athropluria, piranhas, oryx, sarcos, scorpions, titan boas, and a megalosaurus as well. It's also quite twisty and curvy. It's very easy to get lost in. I probably will. As mentioned in every video I make, I'm not good with maps in computer games, or video games I should say. But that's okay. We're here to kind of get lost. We don't mind too much. That just gives us more stuff to kill and more of a chance to explore. This is a great cave to bring dinos into. Unlike the lava, or the cave where we're in the lava, it's not a huge risk of the cave falling down and dying. Baryonyx is pretty solid. Your frog's okay. I'm not a kind of guy, with the exception of what they call the swamp cave, that I bring a frog to. A good Carno. Megalosaurus is fantastic. Saber, dire bear, raptor. Dire wolf. I'm not a big fan of the dire bear in caves because it takes a while to build up its speed. It's not the most maneuverable. Let's talk about gear real quick and set up before we get going. Actually, we might want to place our sleeping bags as well. Always you want to, I roll with 3, that's usually enough, but if you're planning to die a lot, there's no harm in bringing as many as you think you need. It could be up to 10. So go ahead and put what you need. You can always pick them up. I'm pretty sure that's the case across all servers. I always name mine. That's just me, just one of them. There's 35 people in the tribe. There's beds all over. And then I just take a quick look at the map. That way, if I die and I'm stressed out, I'll be able to quickly find it. So we're not going to go down here. So some kit I always bring, no matter what. Let's just see where I got a little turned around. Again, another cave where you can park your dino inside quite a bit. I tend to walk my bird in. It kicks you off in a way that it'll stay flying a little, and I just let them park nicely. Put that bird on passive. One downside, and this goes with a few caves, you never know if something happens to walk in, but I haven't had that issue too many times. Now let's talk gear. I've accidentally brought Freya. I won't need that. Temperature is good to go. The lesser antidote's very expensive. Not needed, but it cures the super rabies, which the oryx gives you, which is a nasty dino we're going to see in here. Bug repellent's an alternative. They don't see as well. It's definitely good in most caves. But if you don't have this, it's expensive, it's hard to make. The medical brew, bring more. It offsets it, so the rabies runs on a timer. And while that rabies is draining your health and killing you, if you're pumping out medical brew, you can kind of balance it out. I brought a little bit of extra water because this one's kind of empty, but we have water in this cave. It's going to be a little slow going, clearing mega piranhas and stuff when it's time to go for a swim. I also brought quite a bit of extra ammo. You could get away with chitin. I like ghillie because it hides me. This stuff's all pretty damaged, so I'm not expecting necessary for this to survive. And I may end up naked, and I don't have backup armor, so we'll just struggle through it if we have to. I don't tend to leave home without my stimulant. Stim berries are just as good, and some may say better. I find the stimulant just works a bit, but it does drain water, so that's something to think about. Stim berries apply as something to carry at all times in any cave, and if you're on a PvP server, you definitely want to have that with you. It's a pretty standard procedure to bola and knock out a person, so that stim berry is going to save you. Just before we get going, don't forget, obviously, if you liked the video, y'all know what to do, but also remember that little bell right next to the subscribe button. That'll get your notifications going. So we're going to start off with a shotgun and probably use it a little more, as there are plenty of narrow caves. Now we'll stick to the right at first. I don't really know the path to the artifact, but we want to just clear the whole thing anyways. I know in one of the caves I missed a yellow drop. which was pretty sad. I think there's an Explorer note, though, right up here somewhere at the beginning. So let's just triple check this left side. Make sure we don't miss it. Okay, we will get to it. It's not, it's really not far down. It's a little right turn and then a left to get that note. This much I remember. There it is there. So we can pop that note first. I've already gotten it. And don't forget, when you do open those notes or a supply crate, a loot box, loot drop, whatever you want to call it, that does pause you for a second. So you might want to make sure the area is clear beforehand. I had walked in here a little bit and had mixed up some information, so I started over. You will face dinos in this section, though, under normal conditions. I only got about this far before I realized what my mistake was and had to start the video over. I was essentially giving some inaccurate information. I had mixed it up with the northeast cave. Okay, another Explorer note there. And you also want to be careful. In some cases, dinos will be in the walls. You won't even see them all the time. You might see a little wing spinning, and they'll just pop out at you all of a sudden. So that's something definitely to look for. Of course, we're working our way down most of the way. That's going to make it a little easier for us to get out of it. As far as build goes, I'm at level 101. If you're at level 101, you're probably not needing this video. You've probably already done the cave. Some things we can run less on if you're lower level. 20 fortitude, more than enough. I like my movement speed high at all points in the game. You can get away with 115, 114. I'm carrying a lot of gear, so for me, weight 300, 280 is going to be a minimum. Even if you're not hitting the max, as we add more weight, we slow down a little. Health, 350, stamina, 250, you'd be okay. So you can chop a little bit off each one of these and still get through it, no problem. As well, I know someone had mentioned, well, yeah, the caves are easy for you because you've got that baller sniper. Well, if you want to see me failing at the caves, I've done a lot of videos on Twitch Live, YouTube Live, and some that I've just recorded and saved here where I do not have an easy time with these caves. And I'm using lower level gear, and I did complete them after a few tries. So at this point, though, touring Scorched Earth for hours on end, picking up loot crates, you tended to get some pretty good gear, and luckily for me I did. And that's just, been around since June. We have Aberration, Scorched Earth, the island, and Ragnarok in a cluster, so getting good gear is not as hard. The island, not the best with the exception of the underwater drop. So if you can't get this kind of kit because you're playing exclusively on the island, you can still do this cave. Get your bug repellent going, get what gear you can. I don't leave home without grappling hooks for a few reasons. Number one, I can grapple right up to there and shoot from safety, which is fantastic. Comes in handy a lot. This is going to be one of the trickier things to clear, but we're going to show you how to do that. And the most dangerous animal to me in this cave is this, and of course the Megalosaurus. He's going to be sleeping. We're going to waste them anyways. You really want to be on point. And the one difference with a lower end sniper, I'm going to have to reload more because I'm using more rounds. But I just follow the same steps as you've always seen in all the other videos. Pull back, be cautious, know your line of retreat. That line of retreat's a game saver. I was doing the lava cave with a friend yesterday, and he made the mistake of jumping in and got himself surrounded. We don't want to be, and like that applies to Call of Duty. There's so many games that applies to. You don't want to put yourself in the middle. You want to have control of your area. You want to know what's on your flanks, etc., etc. Let's just keep exploring around here a little bit more, make sure we've got everything. We've already got 2 Explorer crates, or Explorer notes. I'm pretty sure we've been through here, but no harm in double checking. Now it's nice and calm and quiet. I remember that dung beetle. That same old possible oryx or spider or scorpion, something or other that's trapped in the walls there. And things are going to get a little hairy down here. Luckily I've already taken a poo, so I won't have to worry about making a mess of my pants. Just slow down the pace a little bit. Haven't been here yet. The real problem's in this water. We don't want to deal with it from here. a little hard to climb out. We're going to get that box, and it's probably garbage. I think boxes are green and blue here. I'm not going to get much good out of that. We're here and see some problems. So I know I'm going to get it. There's probably an explorer note there. I believe that's the third and final one. I know I'm going to get into a problem right here for sure with the Russia bats. So we're going to make sure we know our way out. Obviously, as always, we're going to be running up there. Let's engage these guys and get ready to roll. If you hit this dung beetle, all the dung beetles team up on you. It's not really a big deal. It's not something I want to deal with right now, though. Oryx is first is a good policy. And as always in any game, sometimes reloading or switching guns is faster than reloading. Good cave to have your stim berries in for sure. These are all things that can knock you out. And you're going to want to spam those berries. As soon as it tells you you're poisoned, you got to get them spammed up. It's a dangerous creature. What's cool about this creature, it seems to crit hit no matter what. I'm guessing because it has such thin skin. However, they are, I believe, are the ones that burn off all your armor in one shot. So that kind of blows. Just walking into this middle is definitely a little tight. So we're going to keep an eye on things. Here, you know, we're not going to go for that quite yet. Just doesn't feel right. We'll work it at the end. Now, it would have really not been good to get hit by him when all these scorpions and whatnot were rolling in. Well, not too sad that I cleared it up a little bit first. The combination of those with an Oryx can be really bad. They slow you down. The Oryxes are coming fast. They come in groups. Something to really be aware of. Just checking those corners as always. Don't want to mess around with the corners. This will be a great spot to lure those dinos out of the water to get our crate. But we're going to go ahead and make sure we clear things up before we get in there. Don't want any surprises like that. These are great to farm as well. I don't bother because I'm already close to weight. I don't want to become encumbered. That's a real bad situation when you're alone in here. If you got a dino that can handle some weight though, don't hesitate. Farming in caves is not a bad thing. But being that I'm running solo with guns, it's just not an option. And most of those materials I either have a decent amount of, or I can get elsewhere. I think we're ready to get this water cleared up. A lot of piranhas in here, a lot of other problems. See already they're starting. We're going to get our grappling hook out because if we need to get out of this water quick, as you've probably seen in the other videos, nobody waving a grappling hook. Oh, those guys are looking to get shot. Shotgun's a great weapon for Mega Piranhas. It's probably my favorite weapon in the game. Quite versatile. Get you out of a tight spot. Look at that mess. Those Sarcos are going to move fast. They're going to rip me to shreds. And we want to deal with, make sure we've got most of the Mega Piranhas killed first. And we're going to use our grappling hook to deal with those. You can swim it out if you don't have a grappling hook. You know, we've got a Mega Piranha over there. A bunch over there. We have 3 of them. There we go. Let's get these Mega Piranhas dealt with. We'll have to grapple out. Look at them all. Just a nasty mess combined with those Sarcos. They don't do a ton of damage, but of course, repeated over and over with many of them, it's not fun. Still, look at how many there are. It's It's unreal. That's the fishing. There's a lot of fish there. I've never fished in a cave. A little curious how that could work out, but I think you're better off with salmon and whatnot. You don't find too many of those in the cave, but boy, oh boy, up in the snow cave, which is extremely difficult. We're going to get to it later. There's a lot of salmon in there. We still got that one mega prawn at least. Let's get rid of him. While the stragglers. Just want to keep things a little bit easier when we deal with those circles. No harm in shooting off some rounds. We got plenty of ammunition. I would guess that's all of them at this point, but down at the other end, they might come from there. Let's get our grapple ready. I think we're clear. There's one, you see? Shouldn't be a big problem. We're going to want to get out of here real quick right now. And the one of many reasons I just absolutely love my grappling hook. I'll just deal with these guys from the safety of up high. 3 of those would have torn me up. Not sure what level they are, but regardless, there's 3. They chomp hard. Put those big jaws on them. The grappling hook combo sure makes short work of that. C button if you're on PC to get that unlocked or unattached. If not, not 100% sure. Oh boy, it's probably another mega piranha. We're jammed with dead bodies here. Just grapple right out of that mess. That's probably that one straggler. There's still one down there by the look of things. And it's one of those situations where you're going to want to really make sure that the area is clear before we go getting down there for the box. I'm also going to get some oxygen first. That's the guy I want. I'm afraid if I go down and get that box, I got to get the box and then swim out. I'm going to have a problem. I'll be low on oxygen. Oh, this guy biting at me. Anyway, we came in with some bad armor, you know, it wasn't in top shape. So we've already lost our shoes. This is one of the harder areas, though. Once that water's clear, we're in pretty good shape. I think we got rid of all the mega piranhas now. It looks like maybe 2 way over there. Double check down here, no hidden worms. We should have enough oxygen to get that. I don't put any stats into oxygen. So if I have to, I bring some scuba. This is going to be probably swag. You know, I just don't need a patchy saddle. I definitely don't need a slingshot. That's pretty typical. But, you know, you do find the odd good thing in there. Is it worth the ammo and the time to clear it for a green box? I would say no. That's really your call. And, you know, these dead bodies are really in the way if I was in trouble. Because everything's clear. I got my grappling hook, though. How much are we going to get into? Boy, it's tight getting out. Okay, we got out. We're going to have to clear these up with the sword a little bit. Check the drops, sometimes you might get something better from the dead dinos. I don't bother, again, just don't really want to wait up. Don't want to be encumbered. I like to be able to move fast. Alright, we're going to go around to the left there, get that explorer note. We'll have to spam that juice now, we don't want to fall asleep. That's that warning you're watching for, a torpor warning now. Get stunned. Take another one. Just be sure. There's our note. Just keep working through it. Yeah, I'm up a little bit. I'm not the spider webs just don't bother me much, but they can. You know, if you're in a tough situation, it's the last thing you need. But we're just really calm in here. We've cleared up a lot of the stranger danger. Alright. That's one of the reasons it would have been good to pick that up a little earlier. Obviously, with all that weird waves going on, it's a little harder to see what's happening. It's definitely attack music. There's something over there. We'll deal with him soon. We're not going to be going out to get that artifact until we're sure. It's just the other side of the water. We'll probably find those two mega piranhas over here. There they are. We're looking pretty clear right now. Megalosaurus is not all the time. We'll do a deep search for it. If I tame a Megalosaurus, I'll head over to Aberration to do it. I don't really... They're grading caves. This Megalosaurus in here will be quite powerful. But we've got Aberration, so they don't sleep, right? I'm just curious about what kind of problems might be in here. We'll double check. There we go, something's around. Let's get that artifact. There it is. Just knew there was something. Are we in desperate need of grappling hook yet? No, we'll try and snipe it without. Just don't see him. There we go. Well, it's a little bit of a tough fight with all that stuff moving around. We heard him, we knew something was wrong. And that's why we didn't get that artifact, right? Once we go into here, we're committed. That's a few seconds of time we don't want to waste. So it was a smart move to wait a minute and, you know, draw him out a bit, get rid of it, and then we can go ahead and get our artifact. That pretty much takes care of that one. 3 explore notes. I don't think I've missed anything. I'm going to do a little bit of a quick tour just to make sure. It would be a okay time to get a dung beetle in here, but again, dung beetles are best from the easiest cave, which we have a video of that there. Of course, it was the first one I did. This is number 3. If you're really curious about it, you can always check the playlist. But not a bad idea to watch one of these before getting started if you haven't done a cave before. Regardless of the weapons I'm using, the advice is pretty sound. I've been around here quite a bit. I do a lot of caves. I have a lot of new players in my tribe. I also love the caves, so if anyone's looking to do it, I'll volunteer right away. And of course, just have to go up to get out. We shouldn't have too much trouble finding our way. It's not. They say on the wiki, which I'll put a link to, but again, it's always a little bit outdated. But they mention on the wiki that this one's easy to get turned around in and lost. Like I was saying, I'm the guy that gets lost all the time, but it's really just a question of going up or down. There's other caves where I really do get lost in. This guy's in a wall somewhere. He's been around for a while. Eventually these dinos are going to respawn, but not too worried about that. So that's it. I mean, that's how she goes, guys. Not much else to add to this one. We can't carry that because it's the same kind. Someone mentioned to me a dino that could carry multiple artifacts. A little curious about that. I might tame one as soon as I can once I confirm that. Now, you can carry a couple artifacts, just not the same one. So we'll head off direct from here, maybe to the next cave. The next one's cold, so we'll be using fur for it. So I don't need to repair this ghillie suit before going. I'll grab my sleeping bags and I'll be heading right off to the next cave, and we'll be doing that one for you right away. Both of these will be uploaded there tomorrow. It's quite late at night now, so I'll just get them uploaded and then post them tomorrow. So you guys have a good day. Thanks for coming out, and you know, if you want to join the server, that's pretty straightforward. We're on PC, and if you do the show more in the info section, you're going to see a lot of links there. To follow me on various social media apps. There's a link to join the server. And obviously you guys all know about subscribe, like, following, but not everyone knows about clicking that bell. I actually had someone message me or comment and say, hey, I forgot to click the bell. I missed your last 3 live videos. So get on there, click that bell, and then you'll know where I'm at. Okay, well, it's good having you, and we're going to head off to the next one, and we'll see you real soon.